What's going on, guys? Fuller here with Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. We're doing another one of these videos where we ask somebody 10 questions. That's what this guy is here for. We're not going to introduce him yet because it's going to be the first question. So anyway, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we're trying to reach 200,000 because it's just a big number and I think it's super cool. All right, diving right into it then. Who are you and what do you drive?
My name is Parker Fuller. I have a 2012 BMW. 14 BMW. It's a diesel and I think it's a truck.
I treat it like a truck. Who are you really and what do you actually drive?
Oh really? I'm Banker, I'm the installer here. As you should probably know already. If you don't, you should watch more of our videos. And I have this beautiful example of a 2010 Silverado.
Great, so it's right behind us, so it's very easy for people to know what you drive. Why do you choose to drive a Chevy?
How do I answer this in a way that it doesn't get bleeped or flagged on Facebook? I really like them.
That's it?
And females.
Oh.
I'm into chicks.
Okay.
So I drive a Chevy.
All right. Is that all that needs to be said about that?
Pretty much.
Okay. So one thing about these Chevys, you may have heard the saying, you can't fit a round peg in a square hole. Could you, I don't know how you put those wheels on there. They don't fit. Chevys have square wheel wells.
They do. If you cut them all of the wheel well out and make it a trapezoidal hole, you can fit the round peg. In the trapezoidal fairly hole. Decent. Yes.
Okay. What are you running for wheels and tires on there?
They are 20 by 12s and some 35 12.5s.
And it requires full NorCal and a whole bunch of trimming.
Yeah.
Is it still rub?
And yeah, sometimes. If I'm not so nice to it.
Go Chevy. Square wheel wells.
Yeah, you'll have that.
So on your truck then, what do you think is your favorite feature of your truck?
My headlights. I'm pretty proud of those.
That has nothing to do with it being a Chevy. Those aren't, that doesn't.
Oh, so you're saying what's my favorite factory option of my truck?
I guess what's the best thing about the 2010 Chevy Silverado 1500?
Oh, that's a short list. I mean, I like my truck and everything. It's, you know what, the best thing I like about my truck, factory GM, is the design. So I think that the 07 to 13 Silverados are on par with the 67 to 72s. Just a very desirable body style. The engineering behind them, I'm not too fond of the GM engineers after owning this truck.
And you install lift kits on a ton of them, so you kind of know these things inside and out.
Yeah, I can pretty much do one in my sleep.
As long as it's a rough country. To follow that up, and you kind of touched on it, but what do you think is the worst feature of your truck?
Displacement on demand. GM.
I knew this was coming.
Pull your head out of your ass. Stop putting it in 4-cylinder mode. I've rebuilt the engine in this thing twice. Stop doing it. They're idiots.
Yeah, well, they do have a little bit of a problem with that.
A little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
I would like to see anyone who has ever owned one of these trucks over 100,000 miles not have an issue with the stupid collapsible valve springs and the displacement on demand feature.
So if you work for GM or Chevy and you're watching this video, stop on down to the shop so we can have a friendly conversation.
Beat your
friendly
face
conversation.
in.
So the sixth question. Now, I think you and I can both agree a 3.5 twin turbo V6 just doesn't belong in a truck.
Absolutely not.
What belongs in a truck is a true, raw American V8, LS or LT, you know, it all depends on what year you have and whatnot. So, why do you only have this 7-cylinder?
Ooh, relay back to our last question. It keeps dropping valves.
Yeah.
So, you know, they collapse and they stick, and then at idle, it runs on 7 cylinders, but at highway speeds, it's at 8. So, you know, I mean...
It is super weird to drive your truck because going through town, if you're just like idling around, it's kind of funky, but if you're flooring it everywhere you go, it runs great.
Yeah, it runs
and it sounds
great.
good because it's a big American V8.
Exactly. It just sounds like a tractor in traffic.
Which is sort of weird.
It's a little weird. Someday I'll fix that. Someday.
So if you were given a brand new F-150 or a brand new Ram, but you took the best feature that everybody talks about being the LS motor, and those trucks had an LS in it, would you drive the Ford or the Ram over the Chevy?
the aesthetics of both don't appeal to me. So probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with no, because along with being a big American V8, the shifter is up here.
Where it belongs.
I'm not dialing it like it's the frickin' radio, like those Fiats that they call Rams. And it's not like my girlfriend's Malibu where the shifter's down here like a car, like those Ford guys like to do with their little girly V6 motors. So, I mean, you can put an LS and everything. The rest of the package has to be aesthetically pleasing and maybe like manly.
I like that. It's a good answer.
Makes sense.
I'll take that.
I mean, it's a half-ton truck and all, but
it is so windy that front door just blew open.
Yeah, it does that all day. I literally have to keep the shop doors locked or they blow open.
So everybody wants to know this, not just because it's a Chevy, but because of the wheel and tire setup. How often do you replace your ball joints and your wheel bearings so that you don't end up doing the ka-chow mod?
How often do I, or how often should you?
How often do you?
I do it every spring.
How often should you?
Depends on how you drive it and how much you drive it.
Well, Banker, why don't you tell the people how you drive your truck?
It's been jumped.
Multiple times.
A little bit.
So with aggressive driving comes breaking parts, and that's kind of something that everybody has to know. I mean,
yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna abuse it, you know, you're gonna have to, but if you're driving to the mall on the weekends to lean out the window and yell at girls while they're walking by with their shoes, maybe every 3 years-ish would be more realistic.
So you haven't personally experienced your wheels falling off?
No, I've not. I'm very proactive in my not letting my wheels fall off.
Because there's a lot of pictures on the internet of Chevys with their wheels just...
Right, and preventative maintenance.
So not a Chevy problem, maintenance problem.
Maintenance problem.
Gotcha. The 2019 Chevy Silverado, recently released. I believe we had one in here for you to take a look at a little while back. And people in general who have seen pictures of them are saying, hey, Chevy finally put circular wheel wells on here. They're more rounded. How do you feel about those circular wheel wells, Banker?
They're wrong. They're very, very wrong. Chevy did this thing where they're like, yeah, round wheel wells. No, round in the back too.
Yeah.
They made the top round, which has nothing to do with where the tire is. Yeah, as far as fitment goes on the new trucks, I'm not too thrilled about it. The design is growing on me. I was not a fan.
The front end is something that, when I first saw it, I wasn't sure. I liked the GMC, but I didn't like the Chevy version of it. But then I got to spend quite a bit of time with one when we were out at Ready Lift in California, and it was growing on me. But same thing I noticed, they're like, hey, it's a circle up top, but then we just still cut it off straight on the bottom and didn't do anything inside the fender well, and you still can't fit anything on these Chevys without taking a big hammer to it. And
no, actually, fun fact, they took a page out of Ford's book and they put this giant chunk of frame right behind the inner liner. So it'd be fun to see how the hell we're gonna fit wheels in there.
Yeah, there's a couple of them on the gallery, but so far I've just seen like leveling kits and stuff, nothing big and nothing wide.
They make a leveling kit and they make like a 3.5 inch out there.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh, last question. In number 10, and it's a good one.
Okay.
It just fits you very well. It's a very simple question. What is your favorite color?
Ooh, you know, I think it would have to be a toss-up between a light turquoise and a sparkly pink.
I don't think so, Banker.
Yeah, no, black.
Everything on your truck is black.
Black.
Black, everything.
All of the things.
I thought you were going with turquoise because the headlights have like sometimes a weird greenish blue tint to them.
Yeah, that is true.
But literally everything else is black. Even the rust you covered up is black.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of black.
So there you go. There's 10 questions for the Chevy guys. Hopefully you guys aren't so mad this time. I don't actually hate Chevys. I don't actually hate Fords like everybody was saying.
I hate Fords.
Okay, Cody hates them, but we at Custom Offsets appreciate everybody, because I have to say that. Otherwise somebody's gonna get really angry in the comments, and then I'm gonna lose my job, and I'm gonna have to sell my car,
Yeah, I mean, I like building all trucks. But
We'll build whatever you want. Bring it
Yeah,
down.
we'll build whatever.
Offsets Garage, located inside Custom Offsets. We'll build whatever you want.
Asterisk.
With some exceptions. Peace.